welcome to Those Fucking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Christine.
And I'm Natasha.
And we have special guests.
It's not written down in the doc, Christine. This
Chloe, just say your name.
It's Chloe. It's me, girl. You know who I am.
We have special guest Chloe here with us today because today we are doing an attached at the hip spoilery book club come our discussion time. So don't worry, you can stay for now if you haven't read it yet, because we have lots of news and what right now to discuss. But once we get to the main discussion, it will be an attached at the hip party book club discussion.
I'm so ready. As reveals happened, I texted her and I got mad at her for doing certain things. So I'm excited to share that with the public.
I'm excited to chat spoilers because all these past 2 weeks I've been having to talk about it very spoiler free. So it'll be fun.
You were so intense at the book events.
Yeah.
You were like, Chloe, that's a spoiler. And it was like a really generic question. And I was like, whoa.
She's always intense about spoilers. Well, here's the thing about Christine and spoilers. She hates spoilers so much. I'll never forget when we were on the carpet of Spider-Man No Way Home and she sees a poster of Doctor Strange and she's like, spoiler! Because she hadn't watched
by the carpet, by the red carpet.
By the red fucking carpet, she was spoiled.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for you.
You don't have to feel bad. I didn't feel bad. Okay. I was just surprised. I was gasped and turned into Natasha.
There was so many.
I can't believe it. Anyway, so I think everyone gets the full experience of reading a book when you go into it pretty blind, and I wanted everyone to have the full experience. Anyway, that's coming up. But first, as always, we've got a lot of snap crackle pop culture news because we haven't recorded in 3 weeks.
I know.
Oh my God, true.
Wild.
Really, the only thing that has happened between that time and now is Bridgerton.
I mean, that was a TV show that we have a whole episode planned for.
We're gonna watch part 2 together, right?
Okay,
Christine
I'm
can't.
gonna be in New Jersey for Olivia's wedding.
Oh no, I was talking to Natasha.
Oh well, you said together like it meant all of us. So thanks.
I know you can't be there, and I want you there. But yeah, no, I'm salivating for it.
Amazon announced a new Red, White, and Royal Blue movie, part 2, coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. It was very sly the way they did it. I was actually quite confused.
Sly? I don't think that's the right word.
This is not based on any text, right?
No.
There's
That makes me so nervous.
Well, I bet Casey McQuiston is the one who pitched the idea for it.
I'm sure.
So
Because they would have to get her approval.
At the very least, her approval for sure.
So I bet she's heavily involved in the writing of it if there's a part 2.
Oh, but I know that there's going to be probably a breakup with a part 2 or
Who knows? They could be running the country together.
I just want them to be happy. Yeah, if I could have a movie
country?
of all fluff.
I don't know
which
all
country.
of the countries.
If I could have a movie with just fluff, that's my ideal. No conflict at all.
I need a little bit, but I do feel you on that.
Maybe with the side characters, yeah. Laura said, what if it's a royal wedding?
That would be amazing, actually.
That would be sick.
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be, 100%.
That's what it should be. All right. Romance Con is coming up September 6th, I want to say, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you don't know already, we're all going to be at Romance Con. It's going to be a Forking Fangirls Palooza conference. So we're very excited. We're going to have a panel. We're going to have a meetup. We will possibly have another meetup outside of Romance Con, depending if there are people who live in Milwaukee that want us to do something outside of it and can't come to Romance Con. So we need to hear from you if you are in Milwaukee and not coming to Romance Con, and it's worth it to do an outside event as well, because we will be doing one inside. Slide into the DMs, comment on this episode somewhere, let us know, email us at thoseworkingfangirls@gmail.com. and we'll try to make that happen as well. But RomanceCon is coming up. We're going to be there. There's a link to get tickets in our show notes. We used to have a 15% off discount code, but it seems to not be working anymore. It says it was outdated when someone tried to use it. So
let me reach out to
Emily.
We can reach out to Emily. Yeah.
Cool. So we'll leave the code, see if it works. You should be able to get 15% off with code Fangirl. I can't believe that's coming up so soon. I'm so excited.
I know. It's like the summer's here. It's June. When the summer hits, it goes by so fast.
Lovesteria is coming up very quickly. Natasha's romance ball is coming up June 22nd. And big news, we are going to be doing a live recording of a Those Forking Fangirls episode at the book fair portion of the day.
Cool.
So this is new news.
Chloe, we just planned this weekend.
This yesterday.
Lovesteria is coming in like 2 weeks. I'm a little bit freaking out. So we have a book fair portion of it. So that's going to be like during the day. And then if you have a VIP ticket, it's included in your admission. There's a separate ticket for it. So if you don't want to go to the ball, you can go to the fair if you want to. But we'll have panels and author signings and vendors and stuff in the same location. You don't need to dress up in ball. I think I'm going to be in like a little like sundress or something.
I'll be in like a cutesy outfit for...
Yeah.
The book fair
cutesy
portion.
Casual. I mean, listen, I've been chasing that Scholastic book fair high since I was 11, 12, and that's what I'm making this in my head.
And news, the next day, June 23rd, we will be having an official Those Forking Fangirls Disney Day.
I'm mad because I can't be there.
You can't
Why
come?
can't you be there?
Oh, I told you guys this literally 6 months ago when we first talked about it. I have my freaking cousin's wedding, which I unfortunately cannot not go to.
Yeah, that's true.
Times. Okay, Natasha and I will be at the official Those Forking Fangirls Disney Day on Sunday if you want to join us. So that should be fun. Let us know if you're planning to come so we can get a count, because I'm sure there's not that many of us. So that way we can know who's going to be hanging.
And I will be depressed and sad while looking at pictures.
So, Attached at the Hip, my new novel is out.
Yeah, it is.
It's out. Woo! It's been out for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. By the time this comes out. Something that I haven't really talked about yet, but would be really helpful to helping more people find Attached at the Hip is reviewing it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or both. They push the books that have more reviews out on the algorithm to recommendations and stuff. So if you enjoyed it, highly appreciate you just taking a second to go give it a sweet little review. Thank you. Really appreciate.
I want everyone to know that I have displayed Attached at the Hip. I sent Christine a picture, but it is now like the primary focus of my bookshelf.
Thank you. I'm honored.
I'm obsessed with you, one. I'm obsessed with the book, too. And the cover is so pretty.
It really is.
I know we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but like if I saw that book on like the Barnes and Noble, like What's Hot table or whatever the fuck, I would immediately buy. Buy.
I feel like it's a sexy cover. It's kind of like
so
flirty.
sexy, bro.
Yeah.
It's so sexy. But I will say, every time I look at that cover, and I think about the outfit you put. The fashion in Attached at the Hip is insane.
We can talk about it in the spoilery section, why I made decisions that I made.
Yeah, I'd love to know personally.
There's a reason for my madness here.
I'm sure there's. I know one of the reasons, but my biggest question is why. Yeah, for sure.
There are reasons. Let's see what else. Billie Eilish has a new CD. I'm not an album. Sorry, CD. A new album. I'm not like in love with it like I was with her other albums. It's growing on me very slowly. I could eat that girl for lunch now.
Oh,
what about y'all?
Okay.
I like
Birds of a Feather.
Birds of a Feather?
That's the one that's been trending on TikTok, yeah.
I think of you guys when I hear that song. Not to be like really mushy or anything, but when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, my girls.
I haven't listened
That's
to
how
it
single I am.
Same. I've been like that for 5 years.
I mean, I think we're all like that. Chloe, you're the least single.
I'm single.
I thought you were dating someone kind of seriously.
Single with 3 men, Elise.
Okay, listen. None of them are my boyfriend.
Laura says, Christine, have you bought all the other special edition CDs that Taylor's been releasing of TTPD? Okay, so Taylor Swift news. Taylor Swift has been periodically releasing acoustic versions of these songs on TTPD, and I have not been purchasing them. Look at me.
I'm proud of you. Let's go. Let's go, Christine. Your self-control, baby, out of this world right now.
Once I didn't get the one I wanted the most, which was Who Was Afraid of Little Old Me, I had the strength to withhold from the rest.
I'm floored.
I'd just be like mad for you that we don't have like the entire anthology out.
I would love an acoustic version of Down Bad.
Sabrina Carpenter just announced that she has a new album coming out August 23rd called Short and Sweet. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I love her.
Very exciting.
Polly Pocket, pop star. I wish it was coming out earlier, though. This is the end of the summer, and I really
We're going to
wish
get there so fast.
I know, but I really wish we could have it for the whole summer.
It's going to feel like a fall album. Like I want it to be.
You think
like
so?
A summer.
No, she's already got the song of the summer, Espresso.
That's true. That's true, I guess.
And I think she might drop another single. That's what it felt like she was hinting at. So we'll see.
I just love all the pop girlies right now. Like Chapel, Sabrina, and Olivia, and Taylor, and Billy. Not everyone are friends in that group, but I love them all.
I've always loved them all.
I love them all as well. And I will say Sabrina and Chapel Roan, like they come with fits. Like their outfits are just as fun to look at and as like to listen to their music. And that for me is like true pop star. Like I want the package. I want to be obsessed with the outfits. I want to be obsessed with the music. I want to be obsessed with the vibe.
All right. That's all the news we have for today, I think. And we're going to roll right on into what right now. Let's start with TV. What have y'all been watching this week and last week and the week before?
Bridgerton.
Yeah. It's the only TV I've watched.
I am not joking when I say I went through it and then I went through it again, season 3, and then I went through it again, and then I'm like, okay, let's watch season 1 again. So I went through season 1, and then I'm like, oh great, let's watch season 2 again. And then I just keep going back to season 3, and then I rewind the carriage scene about almost every other day.
The carriage scene? Hello. Usually I only read porn, but sometimes something's that good.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it much, but this is my favorite fucking show ever. And I have things I don't love about it, but I don't care. Like, it's just feeding me.
I've been loving your TikToks talking about other like period Regency media to consume when you are feeling like that Bridgerton starvation and like really needing something to fulfill you until it comes out. So check that out if you're also like really having a hard time getting through these.
If you have the sickness that we have.
The sickness.
Survivor season finale happened. Kenzie won Survivor 46, which was very exciting. And Kenzie reached out to me about
talk your shit. This was so cool.
Yeah, this was really exciting.
I just sent her a signed copy. I was so excited. I was just dying. I had followed Kenzie when she won, when I found out that she won. And then she DM'd me and was like, oh my God, the attached at the hip girly. And I was like, so thank you, Kenzie, for DMing me. If you happen to hear this, you made my day.
Hey, Kenzie.
She was so sweet.
I did watch Nicola's new show on Tubi, which is free. It's called Big Mood. And it's 30 minutes. It's like a dark comedy about mental health. And Nicola, for trigger warning, the character has bipolar disorder, which is what my mom had, so I didn't really know that going into it, and it was like a little rough to watch.
Yeah.
But like the first episode was so fun, and then it's fun, so I would give it a try. I do want to watch Dairy Girls next because I'm just obsessed with her.
Do you think I could handle it?
There's no like abuse. It's just like just showing like the manic and the depressiveness of bipolar.
Hacks season 3 dropped, and I already ate up the whole thing, and it was so good. And there's going to be another season, so I'm so happy because it ended on a cliffhanger, and I was like, this isn't the finale of the series. And then I looked it up, and there's another season that's already signed on. Thank God. Movies. Me and Natasha both saw The Challengers and loved it.
I'm very excited to see it.
I liked it. I don't know if I would have seen it in theaters, though. I just wanted to see it because, yeah, I think I would have waited because I was expecting all of this, like, what?
I love seeing it big on the big screen. The directing was, like, really interesting.
Yeah, no, I did love all the,
with the cinematography,
like, the music, when it all, like.
And the music, yeah. No, it was done really well. Like, it was.
I want to see the outfits. I want to see Mike Feist.
Is it the dark-haired kid?
Yeah, he's a Broadway actor that I've actually like followed as a Broadway actor for a long
Wait,
time.
no, are you talking about the blonde kid?
Yeah.
Is he blonde?
He's
Would
blonde
you count
in the
that
movie.
blonde? Oh, okay. I also heard that it was like a little homoerotic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
which
it's
I
great.
love.
It's very like they're all
that,
in love with each other threesome.
Oh, okay. Is it streaming now?
No.
Yes, I think you can rent it.
I think you can rent it, but you have to pay.
Okay.
I wanted it to be more raunchy.
It's a movie that's in theaters that like everyone needed to be able to see. So I think it was raunchy.
There are
in
two
itself.
types of people in this world.
Wait,
and
no,
I
but
am with
literally-
Natasha.
I know, but there is so much sexual tension, and there is this really, really big sexy scene with all the three of them.
the sexual tension to culminate in sex, whereas
Yeah.
you love to live in the sexual tension. You love to
which is great.
I
marinate in it.
I wanted one more scene too.
Okay.
We needed an epilogue scene, and when I said that though, the people I was with, they were like, "That's what AO3 is for."
AO3. True. Someone send us Challengers fanfics where there is finishing happening.
Books. What have we been reading?
Attached at the Hips. I read that. So I've read actually 3 books in the time in between the last episode and now. Well, I was reading Attached at the Hip, but I read that in like 4 days.
Oh, yeah. Like binge read. 100%.
Yes, same. And then I read The Paradise Problem by Christine and Lauren. Oh my God, it's my new favorite Christine and Lauren book.
Okay, wait.
I'm reading that right
I need to
now.
order it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Actually lovely, like going from like a paradise like type of Attached at the Hip book to another paradise book. It was a great
big
second
summer vibes.
Yes, big
Yeah,
summer
okay.
vibes. And then I started reading The Duke and I, which is Bridgerton book 1, and that I don't love that. But I finished it.
Oh no. Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
That's good to know because it's on my TBR, so.
I think it's good if you have Spotify Premium and you can listen to the book for free with your Spotify Premium account. But it's the show's way better in my opinion. The way that Shonda looked at it and she's like, "Yes, this is gonna be a TV show, and I'm gonna add all this stuff to it."
And she's like, and I'm gonna make it so much better. Amazing. Hey, you know what? I think that is just a testament to her talent. The fact that she can make a book better. When do we hear about that? Never.
All the
The book is
time.
almost always really. To me, the book is
Vampire
almost
Diaries,
always better.
Gossip Girl, all the shows.
I didn't read those, so maybe I guess. Pretty Little Liars. I thought the
True
books
Blood.
were still better actually.
Chloe, you have more books?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my God,
I'm
you read
reading-
The Way of Kings?
I'm reading The Way of Kings right now. You know, a man recommended it to me, but it's been good. So,
No, I've heard great things about The Way of Kings.
and then also I'm rereading Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, and it's such a good book. It's a memoir. I love like a memoir essay book that makes me laugh. So that was my plain book. I just finished The Alchemist, which was also really incredible, and Elsie Silver, Heartless, the cowboy romance books. And I finished, yes, because when we went to the Ripped Bodice, I asked the sales clerk, I think her name was Paula. She was like, "What do you want to read?" And I was like, "Give me cowboys." And she handed me a stack of 5 books. I got them all, and I've been reading Heartless, and it was Yeah, Elise in the chat, she upswiped on my story and she was like, oh my God, are you an Elsie Silver girl? I was like, yeah, I am now because, oh my God, single dad falls in love with a nanny. It's hot.
I also just started a cowboy book called Done and Dusted.
Yes, I bought that. That. I'm so excited. Listen, if you have slutty cowboy books, slide into my DMs, send me all the recs. Like anything where I can turn my brain off and like be turned on. Love.
All right. I think that's it. I'm also reading Paradise Problem, but I'm like 50 pages in, and that was like big progress for me yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to order it and probably finish it before you, but then we can talk about it after. It'll be awesome.
I'm doing my best with my post.
Where are you on Iron Flame?
I just know. Laura said, Christine, do you read your own books after publication? And I'll just read usually the audiobook if I can handle reading my audiobook, and I blew through the Attached at the Hip audiobook. It was so fun.
So fun. So good.
Except for the fact that she says Osprey's name wrong. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I was one of the first people to listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
And the first thing I told Christine was, she says his name wrong. Like, she says Osprey. And it's Osprey. And I was trying to make it light. I was like, I think she said it right once.
She did say it right like once.
Like,
and
yeah,
I
like
love
every
Brittany.
maybe 20
I wish
times.
someone asked me. So we're about to go into our main discussion, which will include spoilery discussion of Attached at the Hip. Now, if you haven't read it yet, I do implore you to read it and then come back and have fun with the spoilery section here, because it'll be like a book talk in that way. There will be no warning. There will be just spoilers flying around. And I really love this book so much, and I really would love for you to experience it without being spoiled. So if you don't have the time to read it with your eyeballs, highly recommend the audiobook. Please leave and come back if you haven't read it yet. Now, we want to also thank our listeners for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Those Forking Fangirls world, community, bubble, universe. We appreciate you all for listening so much. We would love it if you follow the show for free on your favorite podcast listening app so you never miss an episode. We would love for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like to watch the visual version. We have a visual version of every episode. Hello. And that's on youtube.com/@those14fangirls. You should subscribe there for free too. And we're on social media. Our socials are run by Chloe Laverson, who is right here with us
what
today.
A bitch. Ooh.
And she does a fabulous job. So make sure you're following us on Instagram @those14fangirls. And we have a Patreon. If you don't know, this is a listener supported podcast. We can only do this because of our patrons. We have such a beautiful community over there. We love it so much. And we have really fun perks. At the $5 level, which is called Team Jacob, you get the show ad free. You get to come to recordings and chat with us in the chat live, which is so fun. And you get a half an hour extra show that's attached to every single show, so you can go back and listen to all 74, 75 of our Fangirl Tea Times from earlier. But you get Fangirl Tea Time every single episode, where we talk about more personal stuff that's going on in our lives, really funny stories, fun times we have over there, really fun times. That is linked in the show notes. Plus we have 2 other Patreon levels, the Team Edward and Team Polis Bananas, with lots of fun perks as well, so you can check those out in the show notes.
We have bonus episodes for Team Edward and up. I will be uploading the Ripped Bodice Q&A to our Patreon for the bonus episode, so you can watch that whole hour of Christine and I talking on stage if you did not make it to one of the signings. And I didn't really cut much out of it. I kind of just like left it all in, even like the break when Christine danced around.
Nice.
So you can experience that on the Patreon.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And we also offer a 7-day free trial for the Team Jacob tier if you want to test it out before you commit. And if you decide to commit to like the annual subscription, you get a 16% off discount, which is about a month and a half for free. All right, here we go. We'll be right back with spoilers after these messages. Except if you're a patron, you have no messages. All right, here we go.
Spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
I'm so glad I can talk freely now. Jesus. I've never felt so censored in my life, bro. I was actually low-key so terrified doing, like, moderating for you. It slayed. It went well. Everyone liked it, I think. But I was scared that I was going to misstep and say something wrong the whole time.
Like, the worst thing that could happen is I just go...
Oh, yeah.
Happen.
I know, but I didn't want that to happen.
All right, Christine.
Yes.
Attached at the Hip is finally out. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. She has been working on this book
Since 2021, September.
since 2021.
Well, I guess I was working on it before if you count the outlining and the ideas. So 2020.
yes. Like, I'll never forget when we went to London and then it was like her break time. She like finally finished it after like months of being like a troll in her house and like, yay, we're getting out the doors. We're going to London. And her editor, or was it your editor who loved it?
My editor.
Her editor loved it so much. She read it so fucking quickly that she got the notes back in her email while we were on vacation.
No.
And we were standing in front of the castle that's like on this mountain that they used in Game of Thrones, and it's sunset and it's beautiful. And I just turn around and Christine's crying. Because she's just put her blood, sweat, and tears into Attached at the Hip. And she's like, no, I just need a little bit more of a break. But honestly, it all paid off. I fucking love this book.
This book is so good, babe. It's so good.
Thanks, guys.
It's so good.
Right.
And
If I, like, even if I didn't know you, love you, want to appreciate everything you do, I think it would have still been a binge book for me.
mm-hmm.
Like, once I got, I think, past the like initial chapters, I think I would have been all in. It would have been one of those books that like I don't work and I like call out sick or whatever and
Thank
read.
you guys. Yeah, I mean, like, it is. That's what the feedback I've been getting from everyone. It's like a book that you just read all at once, which I love reading books like that. So I'm so glad that it's that way for everybody. And yeah, now hearing all that from everyone else, I feel like I understand why my editor read it so quickly, because it reads quick, which I at the time was not ready for. As the person who wrote it, I love to hear like what everyone's favorite parts were.
Oh,
my favorite part is the coconut scene with her and Osprey. I mean, it feels weird now, like talking about it, because it's like we can now.
Because we're allowed.
Yeah, so Christine has really kept Osprey like under wraps for a really like the entire time. Yeah. And we are not meant to know that she's pulling a Sarah J. Maas on us, where we think it's the first guy, but it's actually the second guy who's like the love interest. And
guys, I felt so diabolical when I decided to do that.
no, I'm so glad, because I didn't like Remy from the start. Like, I had such a weird feeling, and I was like, whoa, what's happening? Because I was fully convinced it was going to be the trope of like second encounters. You know, I really did think you were going to take Remy to the end in the beginning, and I was kind of bummed out about it, because I was like, oh, like I just want him to be a little more like her. Like, I don't know, I wanted them to mesh a little bit more. And then when Osprey came up, I was like, fuck yes. I remember texting you. I like pulled up the text because I just had to scroll through all our nonsense, which was annoying.
Oh God, yeah.
But I said, why do I want Osprey and Ori? And then you texted me, oh, I don't know, I guess we'll see. LOL. And I got kind of angry. I was like, whoa, what do you mean? But my favorite part, and I texted you right after, this sexy washing scene. That's a scene that I'll go back and read, I think. Mm-hmm. It is so beautifully intimate, and like the sharing of the vulnerability between the two of them. And just like, I was kind of like, fuck, like I want to be bathed in the ocean by sexy man.
I. Sorry, Natasha, I interrupted you. What were you going to say about coconuts? That's also my favorite.
No, because that was like I knew everything about this book.
Yeah.
Going into it, okay? And so when she when she gave me the draft to read, I'm just like, I just know everything about it. Like, this is really hard for me to read. Like, I'm not a reviewer type of person. So like, I really had to give myself a lot of time so I could fucking forget all the details, because we do spend hours on the phone and she goes through these like, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And so like, I'm so glad that I did take that time to allow myself to forget, because there were things that I did forget about Remy. Like I knew Osprey was coming in. So I was just kind of like, I allowed myself to kind of like fall in love with Remy, but I was like, this doesn't feel right. But also like the fire scene was so good, and she spent so long writing that. And then I was like, oh wait, and even though I knew everything about the fucking book, I was like, I just really want her to get back with Remy because I want some like more steamy scenes. And
oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I was so mad when she left Osprey. Like I was like, no. Go back. Also, I will say, like, knowing you, Christine, I've read your other books, but now I like really know you intimately. And yeah. And first of all, I mean, it was just obvious that it was you. Like, your humor was everywhere. And thank God, because I love you and your humor. So it was so fun to read. But the second Osprey came up, I was like, oh, this is Christine's type. Because he is. He is your type. And at the time, you were like low-key talking to a guy that kind of looked like Osprey.
Well, that was not when I was writing it.
No. I just meant like while I was reading it, you were talking to a guy that kind of looked like Osprey. But the second he came up, I was like, wait a minute. I feel like he might be the love interest because he's your type, which was so funny to me.
Okay, I forgot that Remy picked Ori.
Wait,
Osprey picked.
Oh, okay.
Picked Ori. Sorry, I was getting them mixed up. And I was like, oh, wait, okay, now we get like a whole section with Osprey and Ori. Like, this is going to be so
like
exciting.
The second time around. And I think watching him like make kind of pushing her out of her comfort zone was so fun. And that's what I really liked, the coconut part, because, well, one, there was a lot of really, really cute banter.
Yes.
And it was also an exciting scene because, I mean, the whole gimmick of the two contestants being attached together by a rope is just so fun, because you don't really think about like all the hijinks that could happen within that. And like the way that they both fucking fell off the palm tree.
So well written too. Like,
yeah.
I think that scene was particularly impressive. And I actually had a moment where I came out of the book and was like, wow, like that was really well written, because I can't even imagine writing a scene where you could have to figure out the logistics of the fall. Like, genuinely, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Also, speaking of hijinks, your girl can't poop in front of people at a camping trip. I pooped in Christine's apartment and I actually almost had a panic attack about it. And I still haven't pooped at Natasha's apartment.
Me too.
Yeah. So the idea of being 8 feet from someone is crazy.
Horrifying.
I went on a camping trip for 5 days in college with my like friend group, and I did not shit once. Okay,
I get so constipated on 1,000%.
Me in Portland. We talked about it.
So bad, y'all.
Let's stop talking about.
Well, it comes up. It comes up. Also, the Kennedy, and Ori's like so good. Their chemistry, like such a vibe. And when they finally shit, honestly, I felt relieved as well. I felt relieved for them reading it.
Me too. So Cheyenne says being bamboozled that she ended up with Osprey rather than Remy. That was such a fun twist. Christy says, I love the moment I realized that Osprey could be the love interest. So exciting. Christy says, as soon as they started talking about books, I was like, hold up. Sophie was like, I was like, wait, is this the one? Sam says, I think it was like chapter 28 when I realized that I was rooting for Osprey and I was shocked. Why were you shocked, Sam? Sophie says, when they started talking about Divergent, I was sold. Yes. Cheyenne says, I was fighting getting attached to Osprey because I assumed Remy was the endgame. Yeah, that was the feeling that I was, even though I knew everything about the fucking book, I was fighting that too.
I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Cute moments.
Yes,
I always root for the second guy. Like, even if they're not endgame, I always do. I always root for the person that like you don't assume it is.
Yeah.
So I was like all in on Osprey like pretty much immediately. I think the second you described him, even like when Remy and
they were
still being cute and still attached, I was like, wait a minute, I like him. I want him. Like, I will like, for example, my number one fanfic read is like Fred Weasley and Hermione Granger. Like, so for me, I'm like the weirder and more obscure, the better.
Yeah.
So
their first interaction is like one of my favorite parts too, because like they're doing the puzzles next to each other, and
no, it's sexy.
That kind of he frustrated me in that
Oh
scene.
no, I was like, oh, I like that. I'd want to fuck him. Yeah, be a little mean to me. Be a little competitive.
Yes, yes. Back and forth is all like slightly insulting.
It was mean, and it was mean in the beginning, and I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. I just like love when people are a little mean to each other, and then they end up like falling in love.
Yeah, no, I do too. So that was really fun to put in there because before they didn't have that first meeting, and my editor was like, I feel like we want to just see a little bit of Osprey before we end up being attached to him. And I was like, yeah, I do. We want to see some interaction. They need like their first back and forth so she's annoyed when she sees him.
I also love that like they obviously like helped each other in terms of Osprey had certain strengths that Ori was like still building to and vice versa. But I did like that they did have a skill that they were both really good at. That was fun to see as well, like where they could compete and push and pull. They're both just so smart, and I loved seeing that unfold.
Sophie says, I was looking back now. How did we not realize when Remy showed up in that outfit?
True. Oh my God. I texted Christine about that because apparently Christine said that it's common on Survivor for one of the cast members to come on in a suit.
Fucking suit. Yep.
I didn't know that. I don't know if you did, Natasha. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, hello. You should better be wearing Lululemon ABC pants. Like, that's what you should be wearing. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the outfits? Is now the time?
Yeah, we can talk about the outfits. Let's do it. So, all right. So the outfits, a lot of the outfits were like nods to different like Survivor caricatures we see. And like there is always the guy that comes in the fucking suit. Like most memorable to me, the guy from Pearl Islands that comes back who wears a suit. He's like very like leadership. They always is the leadership guy who's wearing the suit too. They're a lot of times at the first episode of Survivor in the early days, Jeff would be like, you have to choose someone to be your leader. And that person would always be immediately targeted because they're the leader. But they stopped doing that. But they would always be the guy in the suit. It'd be like, oh, the suit guy, patriarchy. He's the leader. And you'd always be like, why the fuck is someone wearing the suit? And it's just for like the aesthetics of being marooned in a suit, you know?
It's like a fun aesthetic, but he wasn't even wearing like a full
No,
suit.
he's wearing like fuck boy uniform.
Yeah, I mean, when he was talking about like tanning and laundry.
Oh my God, GTL baby. Jersey Shore. Listen, I love that reference.
Jersey boy. Andrew Savage, Sam. Yes, Savage. That's the name I was looking for.
No, my brain immediately went to Jersey Shore, and immediately he was like Pauly D in my head. And I could not shake that for quite a while. I finally did. I finally got another image
like
in
Pauly
my head.
D. Yeah.
No, he absolutely doesn't. But when he said gym tan, like basically gym tan laundry, I was like, oh, that's Pauly D.
Dude, a guy I went on a date with said gym tan laundry. And he was like, it was going so well. And it still went really well, and I was just so baffled by it. I was like,
you know what? Here's the thing. There's always going to be one thing said.
So
where
that's
you're like,
what inspired that. That's what inspired that because I wanted. So Okay, crafting Remy was the hardest part of writing this book because when I've never had a real villain, so I was so excited to have like a semi-villain in this book.
Oh, and villain for sure.
And I was like, but I need to fall in love with Remy so that the readers are falling in love with Remy. You know what I mean? Like, because I, for the longest time, couldn't get him right because I was like, I'm annoyed by him. I hate him. Like, why? We need to think that he is love. Like he is the one, because that's what Ori thinks. So it was really fun to walk this line of like, you're just judging me. That's when I like got the groove of it. Like with the annoying things are her being judgmental, because she is kind of a judgmental person. She like snap judges a lot of things, and that's one of the lessons she learns as we go on. That's one of the things that Ori learns throughout her little journey, that she really does, like, she judges books by their cover very quickly a lot. And with Remy, he takes advantage of that and calls her out on it. And it makes us feel weird about it too, because they're like, he's like, oh, I'm a person, not a caricature. Like, why are you trying to fit me in a box? And it really changes your perspective to be like, oh, wow, he gets judged all the time. And then he really milks that shit for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he does. And honestly, that's kind of when I started to think, because I usually don't believe people when they're like, hey, like, don't judge me by like what you see. I'm always like, wait a minute. Like, I wasn't until you said it. And now I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Elise said, I will say there was a huge difference between the ARC and the published copy. Okay. I'm glad that like that feels very validating, because I felt that way. What was the biggest difference that you noticed? If you remember, let me know.
I think it's like the stuff with her family too in the beginning, right? Did you have...
I mean, it was a little different, but I felt like the biggest differences were the scene where she is out in the bathroom. That I rewrote a bunch in the final version.
It felt very real. It felt very, very real.
I'm glad, because I got Tiernan's notes too late for the arc. And he had really great notes on that scene. And I was like, you're so right. It just goes too fast. I said I needed some more time in there with her.
Wait, what scene is this?
So when they're during the hurricane or the cyclone, and she is walking past and she see her, like, this is the big moment of like doom and
the betrayal.
Gloom. That scene in the bathroom, I rewrote significantly.
I honestly thought maybe you were going to take it in a different direction when I read that scene initially, because I was thinking of like a pranked sort of spin on it, or some sort of like jury duty spin. I don't know if either of you watched that. There was only one person that thought it was real, and the rest of the people were actors.
No, I wanted that to be one of the options you were thinking about.
I had a moment where I was like, oh my God, like, this is a completely new show. Ori doesn't necessarily know what could happen or what twist could happen. There's no precedent. So that was like a really big, oh, what if moment for me. But I will say, like, the panic attack felt so real. And like, I feel like a panic attack in the bathroom, we've all had one, you know, like had to like collect yourself, like sitting on the toilet, like with your head between your hands. So definitely like felt for her and with her. And I think that's actually the moment that I really like connected with Ori. Like, I struggled a little bit in the beginning to connect with her because she was struggling so much. But as she grew through it, like, I just fell in love with her and was so proud of her. Like, I think that was the biggest thing. Like, you're just so proud of Ori and like what she's able to accomplish. And like that panic attack, I felt like was kind of the flip for me of like, oh, like, I want this girl so badly to do well.
I feel like I really connected with Ori while she was in her relationship with her one and only boyfriend, and how like she just was like, yeah, like this makes sense, and I'm just doing this to do this. And like there's a whole scene where like she's making out with him and like she's thinking of something else.
Oh my God, that's so real.
I'm just like, oh wow, been there. Elise is saying I had that relationship and it made me cry reading her in it too. And like, you want her to have those feelings, and like it's so exciting that she has it with Remy, like right off the bat, like fire scene, like it's like so cute and spicy a little bit. And so like she's thinking about him the whole time and she's romanticizing him the whole time. I'm like, oh, Been there.
My favorite part is her writing like the all caps. Like the part where she's like, I wonder how far in advance I have to book 2 plots so we can be buried next to each other. Like all that shit was so fun because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like all of us has a little voice that does that whenever we are in crush with somebody.
100%. 100%.
And letting that loose was so fucking fun.
Yeah, the intrusive thoughts, like getting to read and hear someone else's intrusive thoughts. So fun and validating. You know, it's like when you see a video on TikTok of something that you thought like just you did, but it turns out so many other people do the same thing. Yeah. And it's like they're in your head and you're like, wait, none of my experiences are like personal or a one-offs, and it like feels good. It feels like justified. Like I have a new crush and I have already planned our entire life together. And I'm so glad that Ori does that too.
It's always like that. Yeah. So one of the things I always like to know are the parts that made you laugh out loud. And I wanted to really quickly just share that some of the parts that I laughed out loud, like when I was writing, it's so funny listening to Brittany, are like other parts made me laugh so hard that like I was like, this wasn't as funny. But then when she did the part, she delivered this so well. The part when she, after the macaroni is his favorite color, they're walking and she's like reliving the conversation. She's like, I should say something cute. And she's like, if my outfit color is macaroni, what color are you wearing? Olive? And he's like, this is black. Are you colorblind?
I'm sorry. The amount of cringe and ick that I had listening to, okay, this is going to sound so fucked up, and I'm so sorry if if like suddenly after listening to what I'm about to say, you hate me, listeners, but I'm just going to say it. I don't have moments like that. I genuinely, I don't. I usually know exactly what to say. Especially, sorry. And
good for you.
No, I know. I'm a fucking asshole. I get it. Reading this, I had to physically close the book, take a fucking breather, and be like, it's okay. It's not you. It's someone else. It's a book. It's a book. This isn't happening to you in real life. You're not saying this to a man that you think is attractive. You can read this. The secondhand embarrassment that I had was fucking crazy. I was like, if this is ever me, shoot me in the face. That's how I felt. And I know that sounds like I'm a piece of shit, but no.
This is what social anxiety does.
I struggled so hard. I felt social anxiety for the first time.
Okay.
I felt social anxiety for the first time reading your book.
Real to my fucking life.
It happens to me too.
Okay. I'm an asshole. We get it.
Specifically in front of like hot guys.
I have so many like of those moments. I can't.
I have a lot of moments
cringe.
where I'm like, oh, I wish I had said something different, but I never have the like, oh my God, what did I just say? Like in the moment vibe. But honestly, what made me like Remy at least a little was how he responded to her.
Yeah.
Like, and how he was able to like, you know, play around with her, but also question and play along. Like, that made me really happy.
In Bridgerton, there's this moment where Penelope is trying to talk to the guys, and it was like I was having, like, this is so me, when she was like, I like reading. Do you like reading? My mom says I read too much, but, like, I don't know. I love reading.
Yeah.
That's, like, my favorite part. I was hysterical.
You know, as I watch that scene, I don't know if I have said something like that before in my life. So I think
definitely have. I feel like I've witnessed
you're right.
Fuck. She called your ass out. She said, no, you have. You've totally been weird and awkward for sure.
I've been there with you.
Okay, I'm sure I have as well.
I
just
sure
don't get the same. I just don't get the
fucking-
same feeling. Like, I don't know.
The fucking Pierce Brown moments. If I. Oh my God! Wait, sorry.
The Pierce Brown moments.
I can't. I just remembered one, and I literally can't.
Can I be so for real? I think it's because really hot men give me the ick. Like, I don't think really hot men are hot. So maybe that's why I don't get social anxiety. If you give me a nerd that, like, is smart, then I get maybe, like, a little embarrassed about what I say.
Elise just brought up the line in the beginning when she's doing her interview. And she's like, what are your hobbies? She's like, I like eating.
Oh, my God. Her monologue, her, like, thoughts after she says the, like, crazy things to him are so good. They're gold. They're gold. When she's like, oh my God, did I just say that? I do love that. Like, while she's saying it, I, like, want to die of embarrassment. But afterwards, when she's, like, debriefing it in her head and being like, holy shit, did I just say that? So funny. So funny.
My other, like, greatest emotion that I recall was the fucking eating challenge. And I was just like,
I mean, you know you're a good writer when you make someone kind of yak.
Oh my God. Emily said the Piccadilly scene with the producer.
Oh, that also made me want to die.
Listen, so this is also a Survivor thing. Because Survivor players, like, there's people like Coach who insists on being called Coach. But then he's like, I'm the Dragon Slayer. Call me the Dragon Slayer. You know what was so funny listening to the audiobook when she's like with Remy and she's freaking out and he just keeps saying like Ori and she's like, I go by Piccadilly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he just completely ignores it.
I would too. I would too.
You're psycho.
That's why it was fucking funny.
Just like in life, when you're on a date with a guy, first date especially, you push through the ick. You got to push through the ick to get to the beautiful, beautiful parts of this book. And I don't mean the ick in terms of like, oh, I can't do this. It's just so embarrassing. You're so embarrassed. And that was intentional, but you got to push past that.
Before Piccadilly, there were other names.
Oh, God, give us one. Give us one.
One was Internet Explorer.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And Jamie was like, call me Ask Jeeves.
Jamie was very nice.
Jamie
along with
was
her.
One of my favorite characters. I mean, obviously we know her already, but like so good.
In the audiobook, she felt like a fully different character.
Audiobook voice for Jamie is so 45-year-old woman, but like it is Jamie, the 26-year-old.
Elise says, but guys, it did lead to the Tube Stop nickname,
which is so good.
Made me swoon. Yeah, no, I love that nickname.
Tube Stop was so good. Once we got there, I was good, but damn.
You have to go through it to get there. But like, it was her being embarrassing, and then it turned into it being adorable.
That's honestly her, period. That's how like you feel about her as you read it too. Like embarrassing to adorable, and you just like fall in love with her. I still think her outfits are embarrassing. I don't think those will ever win in my book. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, her outfit is purposefully like that. She's peacocking for attention on the show.
Yes, I agree with you. I know why that outfit. The sunflower maxi dress at the end, crazy choice.
Well, she was. It's not sunflower. Wait, are you talking about like the sunflower dress she's just wearing to the bookstore at the end?
Yes.
Oh. She's just like her signature colors yellows. I was giving her a new.
And the yellow Prius. Oh my God. I hope no one listens that has a yellow Prius because again,
I wanted a yellow car. I fucking love
a yellow Prius. Oh, no, I want a yellow. On our way to Portland though, in the Portland airport, we literally saw a yellow Prius. It was crazy. I took a picture. And then Christine was like, whoa, there's a racing stripe on that Prius. That's not her Prius. That's a boy
not
Prius.
Her Prius.
And I was like, it's still a yellow Prius. How fucking random. Would you be down, like, how do you feel about fanfic being written about your own characters? Would that be something you would want to read and, like, think is cool? Or would it, like, freak you out?
I don't know if I would read it at this moment, but like it's always cool to have people so passionate about it that to want to write fan fiction. Yeah, I mean, okay,
cool, because I'm writing one.
any one specific season of Survivor that inspired you the most, or if it was a mishmash, because I've been rewatching season 16 fans versus favorites, and there's several things where I'm like, ooh, this is like, So literally there's stuff from every season that I pulled. Like there's just little things from and callbacks from so many different seasons. So nothing's like specifically one season, but like if you named something, I could tell you why, like what season that I'm referring to, like, or I'm nodding to in whatever moment. Like the big thing with Remy lying and being like a pathological liar was definitely like pulled from this iconic moment in season 7 of Survivor with Johnny Fairplay. And I won't even say what it is because I don't want to spoil it because it was a great season for people, but like there's this iconic Survivor thing that happens in season 7. And the last thing before I started writing, I was trying to figure out was what was like the middle twist into the second half. And I was like, what Survivor thing that I love have I not put in this book yet? And it came to me at like midnight and I was like, fucking Johnny Fairplay. And I called John and I was like, oh my God, I am going to make Remy a fucking liar. Like a pathological liar.
That was
like, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
That like was a huge twist to me. Like as someone who's never watched Survivor, I was like, oh my God, this man is a psycho. By the end, I was like, he's a sociopath or something of the sort. Like it was crazy. And I know that like his brother and all those things, but it was shocking. And it also like broke me. Like I can't even imagine like how Ori felt when she went to Florida and she started like slowly unpacking everything, because I've been with someone who's like lied to me about the majority of their life, and like kind of reliving that with her is just so heartbreaking. Like when you know someone, when you think you know someone and like it's all a lie, it's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, and like a big theme in the book is like she loves people and she's so trusting, and she starts thinking like, what's wrong with me? Like, should I not be like this? Do I have to be on guard all the time? But she makes the decision like consciously that she still wants to be someone who
Which
like
is beautiful.
looks for the best in people and trusts people.
It's very much like what's her face from Fallout. Lucy, is that her name?
Yes. I was thinking that when I was watching it. She has that trait that I really love where she just like you have to keep deciding consciously, because our gut reaction is to stop trusting people and like shut them out and not share. And when you cut off communication like that, you cut off so much joy from your life. So
I remember, I think the one thing I texted Christine because I couldn't remember it was I couldn't remember if everything that he was saying was a lie. Like I couldn't remember if his dad had the gambling problem, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like when like the truth finally comes out. I was so mad about when she asked him to flip off the mic and then he never did that.
It's awful.
That was such a betrayal, I think, because it's like
it's her family
really deep
too.
stuff. Her family that like,
and thank God her family was like super
okay about
understanding. Yeah. I texted Christine because we both have daddy issues.
So in this book, I really wanted to write a great dad.
Chris, and you wrote an incredible dad, and the cynical part in me was like, damn, like, is he really this good? Like, is he really okay with the fact that she just exposed him on national TV in front of everyone? Like, is he really going to be understanding? And by the end, I was like, damn, like, I wish my dad was more like this. But
me too.
It's just heartbreaking. I kind of had a feeling reading the gambling portion when they're talking about it that Remy did have a gambling problem. I didn't think he was lying about everything, but to me, it felt like he had an ulterior motive to being on the show that he wasn't sharing, which is fine. Like, I think that you don't necessarily need to share all your motives for going on a show like that, especially like up front. So it wasn't like a huge red flag for me, but I remember thinking like, there's something more here.
He only says like 2 things about himself that are like real. Like he does CrossFit. and he likes Marvel movies.
Creating an Instagram and then also going to UCLA camp. Like, this man, diabolical, bro. Diabolical. Insane. And it makes me think of, like, how much are people fabricating online? Because you can fabricate.
That's another theme running through this, because I mean, like, I've been online for so long and I've met so many people through my YouTube journey. Like, I've learned that I've become really guarded when I meet new people, because I went through a lot of stuff in the beginning when I was growing and stuff, where I witnessed, like, people just tried to, like, befriend me just to, like, grow their audience, that sort of a thing, and then just, like, dip out. And I saw other people get it done to them all the time. That's something that's, like, stuck with me. Like, when I meet people, I'm slow to trust. I take like 3 or 4 meetings to be like, okay, I want to be friends with them for sure. Like, I'm like not as open. And I didn't notice that I did it as much until I noticed how open Natasha is when she meets people. She like immediately like brings them into like her inner circle and is like, and like is so trusting with like all the details of her life. And I'm like, oh shit. That was really fast, and I need like 4 more meetings to like make sure that I trust this person. So it was something that I wanted to definitely like delve into through Ori, because that is something she's really trusting, and I think that's a beautiful trait. But people can see it as a weakness, and
to like
exploit it.
Yeah, I was about to say, to continue to be vulnerable after you've been hurt is
it's really hard.
Really hard.
Yeah, it's trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a question from the Instagram.
Okay.
Allison says, how excited were you when you realized how well the smallest man who ever lived described Remy?
Dude, I couldn't obviously say anything like that in the caption because that's spoiling it. But I was like, if people know, they will know.
I literally had a question about this that got nixed on the Google Doc, but I was like, what Taylor Swift song would you describe?
Obviously, this would get nixed. That's a huge spoiler.
Yeah. You're supposed to fall in love and then be betrayed.
Yeah, you can't know that he's the smallest man who ever lived.
I guess. I don't know, man.
I guess.
It's not a spoiler to me.
It's a huge spoiler.
I believe you. That's all I'll say. I didn't do it. I wasn't going to not listen to you. It just in my head, I was like, wait. Like, okay, I think I'm someone who likes hinty spoilers, which is maybe the problem. Like, I love to piece things together before I read. So maybe that's my issue.
Well, I want to piece together as I read, because the author lays things specifically so that you can put the puzzle pieces together. And if someone just tells you it's cheating.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm a cheater.
Okay.
What can I say?
Sophie asks, did you attach yourself to anyone for research? I don't remember. Did you do that?
I did not, but I was like constantly my brain palace, like the scene with the coconuts. Like, I was attached to him and I was like living it, and I was like, okay, so if I fall this way and then like this way and then it'll be like this. Like, I was doing the mechanics in my head as I wrote it and having a grand old time.
To watch that. I would fucking kill to watch that, and I know that you did it. At like 1 a.m.
It was giving like the scene. I wanted this scene to be like that scene in Lost with Jack and Kate when they get stuck in the net. If you know the scene, you know the scene, but like they only have one gun and they're like smushed together, and to get out, they need to shoot like the net that's holding them up, but they only have one bullet left, and they're like arguing about who's the better shot. Kennedy asked, how did you decide on the character names? The character named Ori, I want her, like the seed of her is like a piece of my sister and a piece of Ari from The Art of Seduction. Like, I really wanted to write a character named Ari, and Ari has that open, vulnerable, trusting naivety that I really love to write. And I wanted to put that in Ori because it's so much fun to write a character that is smart, but like hasn't really put herself in positions to get her or fail, and is really open to whatever she hears, you know, the first time she hears it. So Ari, I wanted it to sound like Ari, so I got to Ori, and I then had this running theme with the birds going through, so I wanted her name to be Oriole. That's also said wrong. They say Oriole, but it's Oriole, like the team, the Orioles, like the bird, the Oriole. And she realizes that, like, Osprey feels like he's perfect for her, and his dad likes birds, and she gets so annoyed that they have so much in common.
Yeah, I do love that moment. I feel like Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish also needs to be on your playlist for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe at the end, because I really love like the letter from her dad. Like I cried writing that letter.
Allison also asked, when Ori fought the spider on Osprey's back, was that a sign that she had fallen for him?
It was part of her, like, she's facing that fear for Osprey. Like, she doesn't care that it's like the thing she's most afraid of. Like, she's going to kill it because she really likes this person and cares about them. Yes.
Yeah, it was super cute. I don't think you would kill a spider for us. I'm not gonna lie, but
I for sure would. What are you talking
really?
about? Yes.
Oh, she lives alone. She has to kill her own spiders.
I do kill my own spiders. I've
just
gone
scream a
past this
bunch
phase.
before.
I just yell a bunch, but I still kill them.
I picked up a spider and took it outside this weekend, and I thought of you.
Gross.
I think an audience member asked you this, and I kind of want all of our listeners to know too, like how you would feel about doing this Survivor challenge if you were ever on it. The eating one, eating bugs, eating something.
Well, I think, was it like Sam that asked this question? Because I don't know for sure, because I do get really competitive and really hungry, and I do like say fuck you to my anxiety all the time and just do it anyway.
You do,
So,
and it's badass. It's really badass. It is
I
a
don't
bug,
know.
though.
I know. I don't know. It would depend, like, in the moment, how I feel in Survivor,
I
like
think
how comfortable I'm feeling.
I would struggle with eating a bug, and I don't.
I
have
would
an
struggle, I
issue
think, with getting it down. I think I might try and like have a hard time
keeping it.
Yeah, keeping it in my mouth.
I was gonna say I'm not scared of them, but the idea of eating them like makes me get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
like I already throw up enough. I can't even imagine.
Real,
like. I can't.
Honestly, the one that's like the hardest for me to imagine is the worms. Like they have these like grubs that are like alive. And
I could do that.
They're alive.
I could probably
do that. I don't think I could do that. I really want to get a gecko, but they eat mealworms. And I'm like more comfortable feeding a rat to a snake than feeding mealworms to a gecko.
All right.
So both of you are so anti.
Elise asked Christine, obviously all the other books have hints to the next book. When do you think you'll know exactly what the next book will be? I mean, I know what my next book will be.
Yeah.
She knows her next two.
I know. Well, I'm so excited.
Hopefully the next two. But I know the next one for sure.
Wait, is the next one the older one or the younger one?
The 25-year-old one. I can say the
we're
ages.
allowed to talk about the ages. I literally thought you were about to go into detail.
No, I'm learning.
So my book 5 is now 4. Like I've traded them because one's been picked up before the other one. I have some callbacks to Attached at the Hip in book 5, but that will be book 5 now, not book 4. That was kind of a very roundabout answer. There's no direct nod to what book 4 will be, though.
So it's so fun that they, and Elise said this too, it's so fun that there's like little Easter eggs. It's very Taylor Swift of you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. I always loved Easter eggs.
Well, I've always loved Easter eggs too, and I know like one of my favorite authors growing up was Sarah Dessen, and she would always have characters from her other books.
Oh my God, Sarah Dessen. Fuck.
And I really like how Christine just does it like unapologetically. We have a couple questions about compatibilities between your characters. And Emily on Instagram says, "Who are the people Remy is compatible with on the show from the producer's perspective?" Emily also asked, "Did you map out the platonic romantic compatibility for the whole show?"
Everyone is compatible with 3 different people, and I kind of like to keep it like a mystery so that there's no like for suresness. It's kind of like what you think. I mean, in my head, he's definitely compatible with Priya as well, and May. I have an idea of who everyone is compatible with. That's who I had Remy in my head compatible with. How they casted the show is they first found half of the cast and then found their connections and then had to cross-reference with everybody.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know who I think I would be the most compatible?
Yeah, I want to know that. That's one of the questions I have down in the discussion questions.
Kennedy. Literally Kennedy, just reading her was like reading my best friend off a page. Like,
Yeah.
I just fell in love with
She's
her.
so fun.
So fun, so sassy. She literally reminded me so much of my best friend Kayla. I was like, what the hell? Like, I felt like you were in my head. I think honestly, Kennedy was probably maybe the only one. And like Osprey, just because I feel like you are an Osprey as well.
I don't know who I'm most compatible with. It's definitely not Kennedy. Not because of her personality. Like, I think I would get along with her. I don't know. She's a lot of energy. So maybe not.
You don't like energy in your best friends?
No, I do. Obviously, Christine's my best friend.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But she's not Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm not
She's
Kennedy.
like people always assume Christine's like this like high energy person because of the what she puts out on online, but we both know that's not true.
Well, I am a high energy person. I like when you say that, it makes it sound like I'm not, but it's just like
No, but
you're
she
like, if that's
also
not
has
you,
quiet
I
moments.
have
100%.
other facets of my personality. Is
Like
what
we
it comes
can
down
sit,
to.
we can sit in silence. And
Yes.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I have
like
other sides.
well, like for instance, like Chloe and Christine are chaos together and like loud, and I feel like I bring out the more like calm side of Christine. So I don't know, Christine, who do you think I'm most compatible with?
I actually think maybe Priya or Leo. You'd be
I was
most
gonna say
compatible
Leo.
I
with.
was gonna say Priya.
Yeah.
Rio.
Priya and Leo.
I think you would definitely take like an older sister role with Ori for sure.
Yeah. I think Leo would probably be
Yeah.
the most compatible. I think like he would be your type. He's definitely like a Kellen Lutz look. And
Ooh.
Leo is gay, but like he's a really cool person and you'd have friendship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is usually how it always goes with me.
Oh my god. Jesus.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Leo and then Priya second. Molly said when I read that Jamie was the host, I screamed. That was such a chaotic Easter egg. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I only talked about this at one of the stops. At the end of the Barnes & Noble special edition, that chapter has the setup for this book. Like literally at the end of that chapter, Jamie gets a phone call. So we hear that Jamie's been like working with her dad to like pitch shows because like the therapist has been recommending that they like try to make something together because, you know, they have a really rough relationship. And this is the show that she pitched and it gets greenlit at the end of the chapter.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so freaking cool. Did you have any special editions for this book?
No, because the special edition was from Barnes and Noble, and during COVID they didn't sell out of it, so they didn't order another one this time. But I hope that in the future I get to do a special edition because I do have extra chapters. I do have more story. Like honestly, I hope people love it enough that I can do a second book.
Oh, I am
story.
so desperate for a second book. Are you kidding me? Osprey and Ori in LA together. Like I need that. I was so upset when the book ended. I was like, fuck you, Christine. I want more.
She did the thing that like she hates in books where like she gives us like a little bit of the relationship, but she didn't give us enough.
So true. You said that you hate that.
Literally.
And
first of all,
slow burn of the century.
Okay, they had the scene together in the dressing room. What are you talking about?
The scene.
That wasn't enough.
Making out
Okay.
and petting.
Natasha
and I like penetration.
Okay, it was their first time together. They weren't gonna do penetration.
I know.
Okay,
I'm just
I
saying
get-
that like the book ended before penetration, so obviously we need a book 2.
Well, in book 2, there would be a sex scene. We would get
Let's
it.
go,
Okay.
book 2.
I'm gonna give Christine the benefit of the doubt because she could have ended it in the dressing room.
That's
right?
true.
I could've.
You could have, and that would have also been fucking evil.
Okay, that
Yeah.
last chapter is like my favorite thing. I hate the way it
I was
is
so
in the
irritated
art
though. Why did he just pause? Like, why did he just like glitch?
because
To be fair, that's cuckoo bananas.
it
to be
is
like,
cuckoo
"Hey,
bananas.
Let's move across the country together, even though we like really have only known each other for like 2 weeks total, and we
It's
haven't talked
crazy.
in months.
Like,
but we made out and it was really hot and really sexy. So let's move together. Like, you know who would do that? Me. Like, that's how fucking crazy it is. That's how cuckoo cuckoo it is. Okay.
If I had $1 million, I would do it too.
Okay, yeah. It's
I
crazy.
do love
cuckoo.
the like cuckoo bananas of it all.
Yes.
I really do.
I love it too. Because that is what stuff like that makes you want to do. It makes you want to just live and jump. And I love that
just
for
jump,
them.
baby.
So much.
Agree. Send the weird text. Do the weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Life is short. COVID happened and we all had regrets. Don't have them.
So Osprey is like in the same sort of headspace, but it still takes a second when someone's like, move across the country.
Okay, Osprey's a little less cuckoo bananas than Ori.
Yeah, than Ori.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more grounded and more logical.
I'm so glad that he won the money. I texted Christine and I was like, yes. Like, I'm so glad. He deserved
Me too.
the shit out of that.
So
Wait, he won money? How did I miss this?
yeah, he won the popular vote.
The popular vote.
Oh, the popular
I almost
vote.
called it
MVP
Miss
vote.
Congeniality, which basically it is.
He was the MVP of the season. He won. So they took a vote live from the cast, got to vote for who gets that award.
Speaking of the money, I was so irritated with Ori when she's like, "I'll just give my parents all the money."
Yeah,
like, they don't fucking
horrifying.
need $1 million.
Horrifying.
Shut up.
Horrifying.
Your
I'm gonna
life
be
is
so
starting.
honest. I'm gonna be so honest. I would have given them 10%, 15%. If I'm so honest, I
She
would give
loves her parents.
10% is $100,000.
yeah, which is a lot of fucking money.
Not even then, because half of it has to go to taxes. So she's only really coming home with like
Talk your shit,
$500,000.
Natasha. Make it real. Make it real, baby. Make it real.
So she has a really great relationship with her parents, so we have to remember that she like loves them.
Unlike
so
us.
no, they've been so good to her. And her parents are in like $600,000 of debt. So like, it's a lot.
Do you ever say that number?
No.
Okay. So if
Like,
I had known that number, I would have been like, okay, 50%. But at the same time, like she had nothing to do with that. I know her parents have been so good to her, and it's amazing that she gives them money, and I think that it is the right thing to do. I don't know if I would do it. I'm not that good of a person. I just think that like she was never the reason.
No,
you know
of course.
I mean?
It's not. That's not why. She's just generous.
I'm sure
person.
her parents have spent more than $600,000 on her, though. Kids are
she's a
expensive.
very generous human. So like, she's open to share everything.
Okay, but let's be so for real. Like, she's also gonna probably be smart, knowing Ori. And
she needs like a wealth management.
Invest that money, baby.
Help her parents more,
Also
not just like here you go.
Also
You don't think her parents are not gonna like invest some of it? Like,
I don't know, man. Gambling addiction.
But the mom,
my parents
the
wouldn't.
mom.
They had no idea what to do with money.
Her mom is on top of her shit. And her dad's usually on top of his shit. Like, this was a relapse.
Like
and
a relapse,
gonna come back.
How did he gamble $600,000 so quickly?
He lost the restaurant, and he like gambled more to try to get it back. You know, it's a really slippery slope when you.
It's tragic. It's very tragic. It's also tragic because he's a good person, and you like don't want that to happen to good people. You know what I mean? Like
the scene. Sorry, when he comes into the room and steals money out of her purse, that was triggering to me. Fucking A, my mother did that to me. Christine.
I didn't know your mom did that to you.
Trigger that!
Molly, Kennedy has a chaotic sapphic. Let me just say that the constant slew of messy AF queer characters in your books fuels me. I'm glad.
Kennedy, like, I love them.
I love them.
Okay, age difference. You really were like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They have quite the age difference.
The jokes about the age difference with Kennedy when she's like, ew, you're so old. And then she's like, oh, Priya's only 23. So
Wait, I remember the one thing I told Christine, I was like, Kennedy's 18, right?
Yeah.
Kennedy's 18, yeah.
And then I'm like, how are they giving her a bottle of wine on U.S. television?
They're not on
Fiji.
U.S. soil.
They're in Fiji, so she can get crunk. In this beautiful world of Christine.
They do. I've seen it happen on Survivor a million times. Elise said, I just wanted to say the talk of Osprey and getting older was so heartfelt and real. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was like I felt like all of us have that moment where like we realize that we're gonna have to stop doing something physically that we love because it just like is hurting our bodies.
So sad. Like, Loki's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. And it really was. I went through like a big mental thing with BookTube. You know how he's just like, he's at the top of his craft and he's talking about like how like you have to make peace with the idea that like no one could be there forever.
Oh God. Yeah.
And like with the whole BookTube thing being like the top booktuber really like played with like my sense of self and like my worth. Like I was like, if someone passes me, like what does that mean? Like am I just like not good enough to do this anymore? You know, like it really was a big mental hurdle that sounds so silly, but like it was and I really felt that was when I was writing about Osprey.
Every time parkour came up, like the first at least like 20 pages that parkour came up, all I had in my head was parkour. Have you guys seen that video?
Of course we've seen that video.
That's all I had in my head. And parkour is very cool, but the fact that you had two characters that are like competitive
well, it's because
parkour,
one of them is the connection.
Yeah, I know the misconnection. I just like I couldn't handle it for a while.
So there is in Survivor China, there is a contestant who's a professional parkour player, and that is the nod to him. And I thought that was like the coolest job I've ever heard.
There's Survivor China. That's
amazing. It's really cool season. I think it's 13.
Have you watched all the seasons?
Of course I have.
Oh, sorry.
In China?
Of course.
No. There was a season. Not all Survivor seasons take place in Fiji.
Oh, there was one in China. I thought you meant like a Chinese version of Survivor.
So before Survivor got fucking lazy and like has a deal with Fiji, they used to go to cool as fuck places all over the world.
How do you have a deal with a country? They have a deal with Fiji?
They have a deal with Fiji for sure. And they just now have all the seasons in fucking Fiji.
China would be sick.
It is sick. You should watch the season. Season 2 in Australia is amazing. Yeah, Chris, you just said that.
I love how we talked about how I don't like watch TV, and you're like, yeah, you should just watch all of Survivor.
You really should.
It's very overwhelming because she tells me to watch all this stuff too.
Okay, I'm telling you, just watch season 7. Just watch season 7.
Is that Boston Rob?
I watched last season.
Can we talk about for a second the fact that
it's not like the early seasons?
I spent 24 hours with Christine. Loved every minute, by the way. I loved every minute. Genuinely never got sick of you, not once. We talked about Survivor a lot because we were talking about attached at the hip. My phone for an entire week afterwards, every single TikTok, every single Instagram reel was not only about Survivor, but specifically about how hot Boston Rob is. And I wanted to die. I was like, and I sent Christine all of them. I was like, my algorithm is fucked right now.
I haven't seen any of these messages yet. I'm going to have to go look.
Oh, it's on TikTok. I sent you to them on
that's
TikTok.
Why I don't check that as much,
Okay, well,
I'll send you a bunch of things you haven't watched. No, just said I can't stand someone who texts me a TikTok. Let me look at it on TikTok.
Well, I
won't do that with you, Natasha.
Messages.
I send you on. Oh, I do kind of sometimes text you guys TikToks in our group chat.
Okay, so I have this thing with TikTok that I can't open it an hour after I post something, and then when it's doing well. So that also when you put it in the chat, sometimes I click on. I'm like, no, I ruined the video because I opened TikTok because I clicked on it. So maybe we should just keep them in the.
Is
TikTok
this like
messages.
A social media guru said this once and you've taken it to the grave?
No, literally this happens to me. It happens every single time I post something.
Okay, I believe you.
I've tried not being weird about it, and they always just flop. So I'm just like, I have to wait an hour and then just go on once an hour for like the first 6 hours if it's doing well.
Okay.
I was doing that for a while and I stopped it this week, and then I've noticed my videos are doing it as well, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you have it.
Drop your video and get the fuck off the app for an hour.
For your mental health too, by the way.
No, but like for the video.
Yeah. For the video, for your mental health.
Instagram is different. Instagram, I stay on the whole time and I'm like talking and responding to everybody. Okay, so originally Ori wanted to play the game with Lark. How do you think it would have been different if Lark was in the game with her?
I think she would have grown
Lark
way
comes
less.
in.
Yeah, but
well,
for like
Lark
a tiny bit.
is just there for like a couple hours.
I'm really glad she didn't go with Lark. I don't think she would have grown as much. I think she would have
Definitely
rested
not.
on her laurels.
I think Lark would have taken, the lead, and she would have been the follower.
Yeah.
Sam agrees. I would love to see Lark and Kennedy interact as just as friends. I feel like they have like fun vibes together for sure. I wish that I had seen more of Lark's response to every single part of we get a lot of it, but I want literally a rundown of every thought Lark has while watching.
Originally, one of the things I would play it around with was every challenge we would see it from the perspective of her watching on the couch with Lark after the fact, but obviously that didn't work out well for pacing.
Hey, when the TV show happens, knock on wood. I know that Christine needs to knock on wood. When the TV show eventually happens, that's something I feel like you could add.
I think it's so interesting, because we obviously were with Ori as she experienced it and not seeing everyone's point of views, and then kind of watching it with her alongside. I think that's just so interesting because you don't really think about that as a reality TV show thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's lives just everyone leaves the show and they're like, okay, and then they had to be quiet and then their lives fucking explode for a month.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
I really want to see the confessions that you didn't include, because I know that you had to cut so many.
There's a lot.
I want to see those. Well, I guess I could just ask you to show them to me. Can you do that, please?
I have to go find them. You know what? Okay, I wanted to talk about the final scene. It's the scene at the finale. How did you guys feel when you were reading the finale? Did you expect Remy to say what he said? How did you feel about those final words he said to her? Because I rewrote them 1,000 times and I was finally happy with it.
I thought it was fucking crazy that he tried to even after the video came out, try to say that he wasn't lying and then backtrack. I don't know. I think I texted you. My exact text to you was, I want to shoot Remy in the face. So that's how I felt.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know all the details of it, and I think I forgot that Ori was kind of catching on towards the end, and she was really just not in it towards the end of the game, and then obviously when she's home trying to figure out what is he lying about. I wanted I'm so glad she showed the video, but I wanted her to do something more throw her I don't know, because what he did I don't know shove him what he did was so hurtful to her.
Yeah, well, she couldn't physically attack.
Yeah. I wanted her to fucking punch him in the face, bro. That's I hope that if she ever sees him again, she does punch him in the face. I think, I don't know, for some reason I thought the Instagram post, you know how Lark was saying I don't remember the exact word she used, but telling Ori to jump when it came to Osprey. Pounce. That's right, you were putting it in books. Pounce. And for me, I thought that maybe the Instagram post was her
a love declaration.
Her asking him out on a date or something cute and public. You know what I mean? But then when it was the video, I was like, that's crazy. But for some reason, I thought it was not about Remy at all. I loved that after us seeing Ori grow so much throughout the entire Attached at the Hip season, seeing her do all this stuff on her own to figure out and piece together the mystery was amazing and so satisfying. It was such a good way to end this mystery of Remy.
I really liked, the fire I felt when he did say everything to her. At least
he's just you feel like you won, but I got what I came for.
And I just that made me feel I was satisfied with the video, but I just know it's just gonna blow over in a week and he'll be fine. It's so
Yeah, because he's like a hot man on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's very little consequences for attractive hot men.
Elise said, in my head, a girl dated him in revenge fashion.
Okay, but Ori set it up. Like Ori like hires this actress like that's really hot to like maybe one in the show that she's like the intern for, and sends her to date because like Remy would eat that shit up. He's like, oh, perfect, like a PR relationship, or like I could start dating this girl and grow my following, and then have her lie to him about everything. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah. No, I really loved at the end giving her little like miscongeniality moment when he was like, you keep telling yourself that, and she was like, it's Ari.
It's Piccadilly.
There's some of these parts. Obviously, you wrote it before anyone but you. But like the callback to Katy Perry and like
Dude,
the sisters
watching Anyone But You, I was like, oh, they're taking all my fucking jokes. My book hasn't dropped yet. All right, should we move on to Mary Kiss Cliff?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mary Kiss Cliff.
Woo! All right, I did this Mary Kiss Cliff in theme with the book. Kennedy, Osprey, Leo, go.
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna marry Osprey.
Yeah, duh. He's only perfect in every way.
He's not perfect in every way.
No, but like perfect, like, okay, you know what I mean. Please, come on. He's sexy, and he reads books, and he's sensitive, and he's funny. Like, hello.
Hello. How tall is Kennedy?
Kennedy is probably like 5'9".
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought
Our
she was
height?
short.
No, she's little. She's
Our
taller.
collective height. I would kiss Kennedy. I kiss my girlfriends all the time.
Yeah, I would kiss Kennedy too.
I would kiss Kennedy too.
I think I'm cliffing Leo because I don't know that much about him compared to the other two. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's Gorgina.
Poor Leo. Yeah, because I love Osprey too much not to marry him, and I love Kennedy too much not to kiss her. So Leo's a sweetheart, and he has like mad building skills. And
Yeah, I thought
That's
that was
really
so
attractive.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I love
Oh.
a man that can build.
yeah, and he can cook too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he had a boyfriend
Yeah,
that was a
I was
cook.
about to say, doesn't he like men? Is he not a homosexual?
Well,
He
we could
does
kiss
like
him, and
men.
he could still be your best friend.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
maybe I changed my
I've
mind.
kissed my fair share
because-
of gay men. Hello, I was in theater.
well, that, folks, was our Attach at the Hip book talk. It was really fun hearing everyone's thoughts. Thank you so much for hanging with us. And if you have
You
any,
did so good.
thank you. I'm so glad that you all enjoyed it. Because I obviously am obsessed with it. It was so cool to hear that you guys know like the story that was in my head and only mine for so long. I was just like a troll with it.
The most beautiful troll.
It's so cool, like hearing people talk about it in the chat. Like it's like they know they were there too now.
If there's an Attached at the Hip part 2, can we give Ori some sick outfits?
I don't know if she would graduate that quickly to sick
But
outfits.
but she's going to LA, so it could be like a gradual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Influencecation.
She does still need to have like yellow accents.
Oh,
that's her. Like,
yellow is a
signature
gorge color. I'm so into yellow.
Oh yeah, we didn't
What-
even talk about her tattoos. She has like her tats.
Dude, I hope someone gets those tattoos. Or like, oh my god, nobody's Pobody's Nerfic. So cute. The Hannah Montana references through like slay. Absolute
I love
slay.
when the dad like keeps making like One Direction and Hannah Montana references.
No,
I
it's
just
so
thought that was
good.
adorable.
So good.
Just, like,
So
what a
good.
cute dad. All right. Oh my god, Elise, I look so close on the cover for the tattoos. They did not put the tattoos on her.
I can just picturing Elise like squinting with the cover this close to her face. Oh, they included the polka dot. Don't
They
worry.
put the polka dots, but like not the socks. It's just like
ate
up
my
her
own
leg.
They couldn't have someone so unfashionable on cover.
I like the cover polka dots. I think it's cute. It's like the teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini vibe.
Except it's gold.
Reminds me of giraffes. Like a giraffe
it's
spot.
giving giraffe. Definitely.
We like the giraffe. Giraffes are cute.
Giraffes are so cute until you think about their tongue.
Ew.
They have really beautiful eyelashes. I don't know if you've noticed.
You kind of give giraffe.
Thanks. I do kind of give giraffe.
You do kind of.
I
give
have like the
giraffe.
lanky ass giraffeness to me.
Yes.
All right. Y'all, that is our show today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for reading my book. I appreciate it so hard. If you liked it, I would appreciate it so hard if you reviewed it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or just copy paste the one you put on one and put it on the other so they both have it. That it just makes such a big difference. And I am so happy all of you seem to be like positively enjoying it and getting joy from the characters. If you haven't already, we would love it if you followed the podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. We release episodes every Friday. We're going to go record Fangirl Tea Time, which is our Team Jacob and Up perk. We have so much to talk about. So
Definitely not going to make it all in one.
it's not all going to make it in one, but we're recording twice this week. So whatever doesn't make it into this episode will continue on the next episode. We've got some like more dire stories we have to talk about first. So those will come first. But thank you all so much for being here, and we will see you next week. My name's Christine. Oh wait, our podcast is edited by Alex Polis and Ricky McBrayer. The music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Trasco. My name's Christine.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Chloe.
And we'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.